Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's card making tutorial, I'll be sharing with you some hot foiling tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. Enjoy the tutorial. So today I'm going to share with you how I go about in making beautiful foiled cards with both the foil plates and dies from Spellbinders, and it's a pretty easy process. Now, I have made several mistakes beforehand, and I'll tell you it was all user error because I would forget to flip the shiny side over and so forth, and as you can see, I foiled my plate. But once I got the hang of it, it's all pretty easy and it goes by fairly smoothly. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can make these greeting cards. So I did some of the preliminary work. What I'm using is just some regular cardstock, and I'm also using, this is from DCWV, and I'm using just some plain white cardstock from Nina. And I did foil the outer frame, and I've also foiled the happy birthday sentiment. So what I've used thus far, this is the kit. It is for February 2021, and it comes with 3 sentiments: happy birthday, hello, and thanks for all that you do, or thanks for all you do. And as you can see, I have done some pre-foiling, and you will get to see those cards later on. And so anyhow, what I wound up using was this large frame, or plate as I should call it, to make the outer frame. And now I'm going to move on to the second frame. And so what I have found that works for me is to actually use washi tape, so to hold everything together, because things were just kind of going wobbly on me, and so it just wasn't lining up right. And so anyways, I made a ton of mistakes beforehand, but I have learned from my mistakes, so that's a plus. And I'm hoping to share with you some insights on things that I have learned from doing this. So here is my card, my cardstock. My next design is going to be using the paper from DCWV, and I'm just going to just cut like right along here. And so what I kept forgetting was that whenever you lay down your foil paper, okay, to me, I always wanted to do this, and I cannot begin to tell you just how many of these I ruined simply because I kept putting it on the wrong side. And so anyways, I'm using copper foil in this kit. You're going to get the golden looking one. This is called Aura. And let me just show you what it looks like. I think I'm going to have to rip up the box. Okay. It's a beautiful golden iridescent color, but because my cardstock is peachy, kind of like peachy, I'm going to go ahead and use the copper looking foil. And so the first thing that you got to remember is that the shiny side is going to go up, and the opaque silver side is always going to face your cardstock. And that is something that I would always forget. And so here we go. I am using this right along here. And another thing that I learned along the way that works for me, it might be different for you, is that it's easier for me if I work from the bigger designs down to the smaller designs, if you are going to be using several designs in your foils. if you're going to be foiling several designs of your card, I should say. And so to me, I will always be using washi tape, so to hold my plate straight. And another thing that you want to do too is, and I'm just giving you these tips because of mistakes that I have made along the way, is in that foil area. Like, let's say this is foil. Let's say it had a lot of patterns. You never want to apply your washi tape to your different patterns like you would whenever you're die cutting. So my plate is ready, and you get to see part of it, not all. And so let me see if I can just pull it a little bit over here for y'all to see what I'm doing. Oops, I don't want to unplug it. Okay, alrighty, so here we go. So now what you want to do is you have your foiling like so, and then you want to turn it upside down. And see, this is why I'm using the washi tape, because I'm not as coordinated as some of our crafting friends who can just flip it over and there's nothing to it. So now that we have that down, the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to apply the shim, and that goes right along there. And then the last thing that we're going to apply is the spacer pad. Now this, then you pull this like so, okay? And see, and that is another reason why I like to use the washi tape, because when I was doing my first cards, I would pull and then everything would just come out of place, and it just didn't look pretty. So now that I've pulled here, I'm gonna go to my die cutting machine, and I will put a list of all the die cutting machines that are compatible with this plate in the description area right underneath this video. So now I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. Okay, so now that I have run this through my die cutting machine, and it's in my die cutting station, I'm sorry you could not see that, I put the plate right over this rubber mat that is provided in this kit. And so I go ahead and take my plates off, and they are going to be pretty hot to the touch. So watch out for little hands. If there are any little hands around, I just want you to know that this is hot. And of course, we don't want anybody getting hurt. So over here, we are going to go ahead and hook this back onto the machine. And there we go. It is foiled, and I know that it's not straight, but we are going to take care of that in just a minute. What I wanted was a perfect foiling. So now that we have this, let me just go ahead and kind of like peel this off of here if I can. See, the heat, once you run it through the heat, it makes the washi tape stick to the foil really, really well. And of course, be careful with the metal. That's what these prongs are for. And these prongs do have they're magnetized so that they will stick to the to the foiling plate. Okay, so now that we have our foil card stock, the next thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and trim it right along the edges. So I'm going to do that with my trimmer. And that's 4. Okay. So I have my foiled part right along there. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I want to use a Spellbinders butterfly die. So unfortunately, this butterfly die is no longer in production, and I don't know if you'll be able to find it anywhere, but if you want to look for it, this is the stock number to it, S1012. And it's this butterfly die right here that comes with this piece right along here. So what I want to do is I want to foil this design. Now, when you want to use your dies to make a foiled design, I found that the more intricate your die is, the more beautiful the design will come out. If there's not that much going on over here, then you really cannot appreciate the design, the foil design. So that's what we're going to do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the inside of this piece for it. And what I want to do is because I want to center this as much as I can, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this piece so that way I can kind of like tell what dimensions I'm dealing with. So this is going to go bye-bye, and we have this piece right along there. Okay, so now we have to remember that this silver side is what's going to go down on what you want to foil. Okay, so that is going to go like so, and this is going to go like so. And you know what, let me trim it just a little bit because I wouldn't want any foiled pieces over there. So, and if you do get a little bit of kind of like a foil smear along here, I know that they say to use an eraser, like I forget the name, it's a special eraser, but I didn't want to use, it's this type of eraser, the white one, but I didn't want to use that. So then I pulled out my glue eraser, and I found that this works absolutely perfectly. It's the perfect eraser to erase any type of foil smudges. So we are going to eye this to make sure that we are centered as best as possible, and I'm just dropping the butterfly right there on the center. Hopefully it's centered. There, just like so. Okay, so now the next thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that my butterfly stays in place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold this down, and I'm going to add my washi tape. Now, here is something else that I learned while applying washi tape to my foiled pieces. When applying washi tape to hold down either your foiling plates or your thin dies, you don't want to cover the piece that's already foiled, because something with the heat or whatever, once you start pulling the washi tape, if you have it right over your foil piece, you're going to find that you're also pulling the foil piece right off of the cardstock. So you don't want to go through that. Okay, so yeah, I'm giving you tips because I've learned from my mistakes. So here we go. This is centered as best as I can right along here. Let me take one more look. Okay, it's looking absolutely pretty. And we're going to face this side down right on our foiling hot plate. So there we go. And let's see, where's my other plates? Here we go. So now we're going to place our Glimmer Hot Foil System Thin Shim right on top of it. And sorry you can't see the full thing. And here we go. Here is the other one. So now what we're going to do is, I need to stand up for this. What we're going to do is we're going to take this and just pull it right out. And just like so, we're going to run it through our die cutting machine. Alrighty, so now we are back to our rubber mat, and let's see how we do. So once again, I'm going to take my prongs, and I'm just picking this up like so, and we are going to put this right back in there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look, and hopefully everything looks fine and dandy. So I'm just going to peel this off just like so to see. Oh, it's looking so pretty. And another advantage to having your washi tape down like so is so that when you are peeking, on one side, and if you see that that there's some pieces missing from your foil design, then of course you can run it back. You can put it back on your plate and run it again through your die cutting machine. So that's an advantage. Another tip from mistakes that I've learned. And so goes right along here, and just look, whoops, look how beautiful of a design it did. Look at that. It is absolutely stunning. So my point to doing this for you is that once you get your hot foil machine from Spellbinders, and it comes with the, it comes as a kit with a sample frame for you to start using it. You know, don't feel bad if you don't have like a gazillion foiling plates. Go ahead and go through your stash, go through your Spellbinders intricate dies, and start testing out just what designs you might be able to use with your hot foil machine. And so let me just peel it out, because I'm sure that you want to know, but does it ruin your dies? And I'll tell you, look, it does not ruin your dies at all. I have not experienced any bad issues with my dies. And so, oops, I'm getting this all over me. And so, look, absolutely nothing wrong with my die. And just look at this beautiful design that it left. And I'm sorry, it might be a little bit glary for you there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun going through your stash and seeing just what you can use. And as you can see, the more intricate your design is, which is what Spellbinders is known for, the more beautiful your design, your foil design is going to be. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this to the side. And now we are going to build our card. Okay, so let me show you what else I've done. Now that I have trimmed, I have my card base and my frame and my other frame trimmed, and of course this is going to go right on top of this, and we have our beautiful foiled image. What I decided to do was I decided to take my Spellbinders butterfly die and some of my glitter foam that I have in my stash, and I decided to die cut this beautiful butterfly design. And look how beautiful it die cut. It is very glittery, and so you know me, I love the glitz and glam and the sparkles and everything. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put this right over the foiled butterfly design, and look here, I will go ahead and have to glue that, but look how beautiful of an outline it makes. I just love it. You could leave it just like that. It is beautiful just as it is because of the intricate designs that Spellbinders offers. But I decided that, you know what, let me just go ahead and use that as a beautiful shadow to my sparkly butterfly. So we're going to do just that, and I'm going to go ahead and use some glue to glue down my beautiful sparkly butterfly. I'm just going to apply this carefully as I can and get it as close to that design as I can. And oh my word, look how beautiful this design is. Look at that. And can you see the foiled shadow? It is absolutely stunning. So what I'm going to do next is, whoops, get glue all over me. So what I'm going to do next is I decided that, okay, before I put these onto the card, what I'm going to do now is, since I trimmed this out of just designer cardstock, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of white cardstock here so that we could write whatever sentiment, and then this, I decided that this is going to go right along the inside of the card. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that this part is done, we are going to work on the outer part of this card. So what I want to do is I want to make it dimensional, and basically I'm just going to work on the first layer and then on the outer layer. I'm using some leftover foam squares from one of my Spellbinders card making kits. Okay. And over here I do want to use okay, so now that we have that taken care of, we are going to go ahead and put this down on this, and I need to bring it closer to me so that I can see. I apologize if you can't, if it's off frame, I mean. Beautiful. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put this right over my card base. And there we go. Isn't that awesome? Love it, love it, love it. So now it's just a matter of decorating it right along the outside, and what I'm going to be using are some flat back shiny silver dots that I got from Spellbinders, and I'm not going to go overboard with this. Let me just, I think I'm just going to do like a few here, here, and a little one here. There's one, and I think I'm gonna do the same thing over here. There, what do you think? It is simple, but it is stunning. I absolutely love this, and I think I can put a little pearl over here as well. Let me see. I need something there. I need a larger pearl. Oh yes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece right along here. Whoops. You know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers tool. And just like that. So this is what you end up with. It is absolutely beautiful, one-of-a-kind card that we made using the Spellbinders Glimmer Hot Foil System, along with a set of plates and a set of Spellbinders dies. And so it came out absolutely beautiful, stunning, and unique and elegant. I love elegant, plus it is a layered card. I love layers. It is absolutely stunning, and I hope that my tips help somebody out there. I'm going to go ahead and leave you a link to this machine along with the set of dies in the description area right underneath this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you once again in our next video. Bye!